All right, welcome to SteelTalkin.com podcast. We back on YouTube live with Rob, aka the Big Cheese. We got Todd, Too Short, Rohani in the house, baby. How you doing, Too Short?
Doing pretty good there, Big Cheese.
Yeah, man. Steelers draft did good. Hey, me, I give us an A. Almost an A plus. What's between an A plus and an A?
Nothing.
A 96.
I mean, if you want to give it a numeric designation, feel free to. But
yeah,
I think if you just stick with A, you'll be just fine.
Yeah,
I think A plus is stretching it just a little bit.
Man, hey, I thoroughly enjoyed the draft. I think we did a really good job. Con and them, man, they doing beyond my wildest dreams that I thought we would do. We're so active right now. We've been active for the last 2 years. Seems like every week or two we got somebody new or something happening to improve the organization.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I definitely like the aggressiveness and again the willingness to admit that you need to make some changes, right, and go out and get it done,
man. Yeah,
and to have the cap space, Rob. In the past we didn't have that. That was hamstringing us pretty much the whole. I'd say at least before last year, probably at least 3 years before that, maybe even 4. We were behind the gun on money.
You think that was Ben?
I mean, Ben was a part of it, Robin. No, I just think that what they had done is they had, basically mortgaged the future for the present, and so they were always on the edge. Yeah, it left you no wiggle room to do anything. So certainly, guys like Ben and some other guys that came off the book, like Joe Hayden,
right.
When some of these guys came off the books, the numbers started looking a little bit better. And then, of course, it doesn't hurt that since we've come out of COVID, the league has raised the cap number. Yeah. So between those two things, to me, that's what's put us in a more advantageous position, right, to go out and actually really dip our toes in free agency.
Yeah, and that cap number is going to be going up for the next few years, right?
That's what I understand. I don't know, firm numbers yet, but I heard it was possible that for starting with the 2024 calendar year, that the cap could jump as much as $15-20 million.
But you got Amazon, you got YouTube now that we're on, right?
Yeah. Yes.
YouTube is doing the NFL package, basically.
Yeah. Yes.
To get all the games. So everybody's trying to get on this cash cow.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, let's move in, Todd. We had a signing during a draft, I think.
I think it was at the tail end. I think they announced it, I think right after the draft, but I think the actual transaction took place during the draft. Yes.
Yeah, I think it took place between day 2 and day 3.
Okay.
You know that long lull we had between the 4th and the 7th round, right?
Yeah, that's what to me. That's what kept that draft, Rob, for me, from it being a solid A, is because we did not have a 5th or 6th round pick. So I'm giving it a B plus to A minus. I feel like if we had those 2 other picks, we'd be looking pretty good. But
what only thing is, Todd, would you rather move one of the 2nd round draft picks back to the 5th, or would you rather have that pick in the 2nd? See what I'm saying? We were front loaded really good. I'd rather have front loaded picks than late to late mid. You know what I'm saying? Mid to late mid picks. Me.
Understood, and I agree with you, Rob. But of course, again, anybody can say this after the fact.
Yeah.
If you go back and look at those draft picks that we gave away, those 5th and 6th, we really got nothing for them. They were wasted picks. So that's why I'm not giving this draft an A. Not that it has anything to do with Omar Khan,
right.
but the administration, we gave up that 5th round pick. We lost that because of Akilo Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still on the team, but I'll be the first one to say that in hindsight, that was not worth the 5th round draft pick. But again, that's just me.
Yeah. All right, we had Chandon Sullivan coming in over from the Vikings. Cornerback. He was an undrafted free agent in 2018. Brought in to Philly. Made the team. Went to Green Bay on 18 for a couple of years and went to Vikings last year. Went to school at Georgia State in Atlanta, from Georgia. I see him. He's 5'11", 189. I see him as a slot corner coming in with us.
Yes, competing with Arthur Millette for that spot.
Yeah. Competing with,
absolutely.
Can we carry 2 slots? Corners?
I mean, I don't see any reason why not, Rob. I mean, if nothing else, you got to be prepared for any injuries that might come up. I would just say, cornerback to me is one of those positions I would, if you can make it work on your full roster, I'd rather keep an extra corner and, hamstring myself somewhere else.
Yeah, you can never have enough corners in today's league, right?
I found it ironic, Rob, that this guy that we just signed, Sullivan, he came from Minnesota. That is the same place that Patrick Peterson came from. I'm sure Pat P dropped some info the Steelers' way.
Yes, I didn't think about that.
Plus, Minnesota's defense was not very good last year, so I know they intentionally were reconstructing said defense.
Right.
He was a casualty, probably of that.
Yeah, when they changed coaches from defensive coach to offensive coach, their defense went down fast. They did have a pretty productive defense for a while there when what's his name? He came over from the Cowboys. That coach they had before. Can't remember his name. But
Mike. Well, if it comes, I know who you're talking about, Rob. He was the defensive coordinator, Mike Zimmer. Yeah.
He was good defense. He did good defensive coach, and the whole time we was there, they had a good defense.
Yes.
I mean, soon as he left, the defense went downhill.
It did.
So, I don't know if Sullivan was a holdover from that, or he was just there. But that was an interesting point that you made, that Patrick Peterson might have had an idea. Hey, this guy, he's out of here. You probably want him. He can cover.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else on Chandon that you know of, Todd?
Not really, Rob. Just looking forward to seeing him in the main camp.
Yeah.
Come the end of July, and hopefully we get some good reports on his progress during the mini camps.
Yeah. Okay. For undrafted free agents we had coming in at the draft, I'm gonna read them off to you, Todd. Jordan Bird, wide receiver, returning to San Diego State. Trevor Downing, center, Iowa State. Tanner Morgan, quarterback, out of Minnesota. James Nayawaya, defensive end, out of Merrimack. David Perales, linebacker, out of Fresno State. Monty Potterbaum, fullback, out of Iowa. Interesting. B.T. Potter, kicker, out of Clemson. You know what interested me about this, they got a fullback, and we got Cam's brother in here, right?
Yeah, Connor. Yeah.
And I thought he'd automatically slide in to the fullback role. Now they're saying, okay, he may be doing something else because he just, he's a tweener all around. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think that's how they view him, Rob. I don't think they see him as a traditional fullback.
Right.
I think they probably see him more as an H-back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't surprise me that they invited somebody that's a true fullback. We'll just see how that plays out as we get closer to the regular season. But I'll stick with what I was thinking. I may have not said anything earlier this year, but I never thought that the Steelers were going to re-sign Derek Watt.
Why is that? Too much money?
Yeah, I think it's just going to come down to money. I mean, I'm sure he liked being in Pittsburgh. I'm sure he did not like the lack of playing time. I think that's got something to do with it. Obviously, he was compensated very well to the tune of $3.3 million a year.
Right.
I'm sure for the Steelers to even consider bringing him back, he'd have to play for at least half of what he was making last year. And I don't think he sees himself as a spare part. I think he feels like being in the right situation, he might get some more playing time. Teams that really use a fullback, Rob, like Baltimore, like San Francisco. Yeah, I know he's a special teams, demon. I really like his play on special teams, and that's seemingly value-wise. Excuse me. Yeah, that's where he's been helpful to Pittsburgh. Is more so in the special teams realm.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like running back, the fullback position is really devalued. I think they just wanted to move on because he wasn't going to take the veteran minimum, which they was going to offer him. That's what they're going to offer him. Because you can get a rookie in here, undrafted free agent, younger, probably faster, probably more violent. You know what I mean? So it's I'm an ex-running back, so it's kind of sad. Even though I ain't making the money, I want them to make the money, Todd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Any other names on this list interesting to you?
I tell you what, I'll start with Jordan Byrd, Rob. Not for the wide receiver aspect, but the return.
I know he's gonna say that.
Yep. Since we lost Steven Sims.
Yeah.
And you and I are kind of soured on Gunnar O as a returner. I really can't think of anybody currently on the overall roster that I would see as a legitimate, person to man that position. Maybe I need to cull over the roster again, whether it's an Anthony Miller or somebody else. But right now, I just don't see anybody that I think is as natural a fit as Steven Sims was.
Yeah. When we lost Sims, I don't know. That kind of messed me up. I figured we'd get somebody in the draft kind of like that, but hey, if we can get an undrafted guy to come in and fill that role, one thing I do kind of figure they're going to move Calvin Austin up in that spot.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Because we got a plethora of receivers right now, right?
Yes.
The slot position he was talking about having is getting filled by a veteran right now, right?
Right. This early in the process, I would say that, but let's let the play on the field determine that, and maybe Calvin Austin shows something, and they change their mind. Obviously, I'm not saying Allen Robinson's going to get cut, but I'm just saying he may not take up as much playing time as where you think that he might play. So. Yeah.
Let's see. Tanner Morgan, the quarterback, kind of interests me. We need a guy to come in that's going to probably back up Kenny P after Mitch leaves. Because when Mitch is not making the money he's gonna be making this year, he's not staying.
That wouldn't surprise me at all, Rob. So
yeah,
whether it's this guy or again, somebody we sign off the street between now and the beginning of the season, or somebody during the season, I think anybody else that they bring in, they will give them a legitimate opportunity, to try to win that number 2 spot once we get through next season.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Todd, before we get out of here?
Maybe a little bit excited, Rob, to see what either I'll call him James N. From Merrimack, because it's a DN position, and David Perales at linebacker.
Okay.
It would be nice to see if one of those guys could push up and challenge somebody for one of those spots.
Well, the thing is, this camp is going to be probably one of the most competitive camps we had in a long time. We're going to have a lot of position battles out there. So, if I can muster up some money, I would love to go to camp for a couple of days, just for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
Okay. So the major camp battles, we know we got punter, right?
Yes, for sure.
All the line positions.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think if you were truly set, but going and looking at the offensive side real quick, I would just be absolutely stunned if Siamalu doesn't shore up that left guard spot. I fully expect Mason Cole to be the center when the season starts, and I expect James Daniels to be the right guard. I would say the other 2 positions, certainly there could be some changes there. Would not surprise me at all. Yeah,
D-line battles.
Other than Cam's spot, I would say everything else is open.
Cornerback battle, secondary battles.
Yes.
So camping is going to be real interesting this year, man.
I definitely think I'm going to pay a little bit more attention, Rob, to that veteran mini camp in June. Normally, I don't even give that a look, but I'm going to try and keep up with that on a daily basis. It's only for a few days. I think it's only like a 3-day camp. But I'm going to keep an eye out on what those folks that are there, what they've got to say about it. So hopefully that'll give us some ideas as to what to expect when the main camp comes up.
You need to come with me and go out to camp. That's what you need to do.
But we'll talk about it later. Maybe we can make it happen.
Yeah, we'll make it happen, man. All right, we're gonna let the people get out of here. Like and subscribe the page, people. We coming up.
Yes.
We're gonna talk whatever you want to talk about. At least 2 shows a week, maybe 3, especially during the season.
Absolutely.
And hey, we love talking Steelers football, and we're gonna bring you good content, funny. Me and Todd always like to keep it funny, right, Todd?
Yeah, and then when Coach Yoda T makes an appearance, that always adds a little levity.
Yeah.
Do or do not. There is no try.
There's no try, Todd. You got to do it, right?
There's no try. All right.
All right. We will see y'all later this week.
Absolutely.
Peace out.
Everybody listening.